Okay, so let me, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody on the Zoom lines real quick. So we should all be muted and good to go. I'll go speaker view so it pops up inside the Facebook group. All right, first off, brand new people, my name is Mike Healy. I am here in Columbus, Ohio. Been in the company now going on a little almost a year and a half, pretty incredible. I kind of the one that put together Boom Time. Somebody probably invited you in here. And what we do is I try to get these periodically out, like on a regular basis. Usually I try to do one big update per week at least to bring everybody up to speed. I talk fairly fast, as you're going to see. I do have a PowerPoint with some details in here. You might want to take some notes on that. But I'm really, really excited about what's been going on with the company. Things are growing, obviously, here in the United States, but most importantly, we got people now in all parts of the world that are growing and really doing some amazing things. So let me, because I wanted to stay on task here, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go desktop with you, and I got the PowerPoint. And we're going to go full screen on that. And let me just shrink myself a little bit so I'm not quite so big. And okay, should be good. Okay, so what I'm covering today, got some Vibe Rides updates. I got some quick corporate updates. A lot of people have been asking about leads, how to generate leads, things like that. And then not necessarily a new presentation, but I'm going to give you some quick things that you can find the new presentation that I just did that's recorded, in addition to giving you some other stuff on here. Okay, so let's just jump right into some of the quick updates. First and foremost, if you're new, make sure no matter what, even if you're old, you've been in for a while, every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Eastern time, they do a thing called Flight School. Flight School is where corporate puts on basically a training, lots of updates, different speakers. Every week they have new information. They show promotions, they show customer count promotions, they edify people, and they give you all the things. The big thing that's going on right now is what we call the World Series. All of these updates, some of these real quick, I will show you, you can find on iBuumerang.com, iBuumerang.com, and they have all the updates. The World Series is kind of a great way that they gamified building our businesses. Okay, so it's really, really cool. Next thing, vision. Obviously, they made the executive decision, which I think is a pretty good idea, to do a virtual, what do you call it, vision conference. We usually go to the Orleans Hotel in Las Vegas, and I was so fired up to go to that. I already had a suite reserved, was ready to go. Tommy had a suite reserved. It was going to be party time, but that got kiboshed. So they're doing it online. Tickets are only $79. It's going to be about, I'm pretty sure it's a 3-day event. Make sure, again, iBoom Hub, click on more info, get the details. You want to get yourself on there and get your team on there because they're going to do some really, really cool things. There's going to be some new announcements, obviously, probably promos, and more than likely, they're also going to release our next service, okay? Next really exciting thing, this was announced just recently on the last Flight School, and I think this is one of the things that's been overdue, but I'm so happy that they did it, and I just love this. It's called the new Ambassador Welcome Call. It's a Zoom. It does broadcast simultaneously on the iBoomerang Facebook page that you can watch it in. It is obviously geared towards the new ambassador, somebody that just signed up, because more than likely when you first sign up, you get excited, your belief level is, where it needs to be. This helps you to dial in exactly what you need to do to get started and launched quickly. Obviously, I want to emphasize get together with your teams, but this is a really, really good call. And I think what's really nice about this is corporate does a very good job, and these guys have been in the industry for many, many years, can dial you in and point you in the right stuff to get you launched correctly, in addition to whatever myself and some of your upline people that got you in can point you to, okay? Speaking of having some fun, this week has been a blast for me the last few days. I think it was 2 days ago, I did a kind of a team Zoom with the Trinidad and Tobago group, kind of the Caribbean market. They're going great. You can see this gentleman right here in the top left corner, that's Brian Victor. And then over here is Richard Cornwall. these are the guys that have basically started hosting this. They've been bringing in people left and right and building a good market down there. Last night we had another one. Yeah, I look like a crazy person on there, but it's on purpose. But Mick and Darlene, top left corner, you can see them right here. They're the ones that hosted this. And then you can see Tommy Johnson was also on there. What we've been doing, and I highly recommend this, regardless of how many people you have in your business right now, it's always, I think, important to just introduce your people on a very, it doesn't have to be long. It can be 15 minutes. It can be 50 minutes to some of your upline, some of the other teammates, because it's always important for a new person to build, understand that they're in business for themselves, but not by themselves. And I think that's exciting that we have this. There are a lot of people that are doing these on a regular basis. In fact, this is how Mick and Darlene have actually been growing their business to begin with, is they've been doing these presentations. The same with the gentleman I just showed you, Brian and Richard on there, which is really cool that we're all doing this. Now, speaking of doing the right things, is we had two people that I'm aware of in the organization, Pop Sapphire. I don't know if Drew's on here or not, but congratulations to new Sapphire, Drew Berman. A lot of you guys got to meet Drew when he was out there in Las Vegas. No, I'm sorry, it was Houston when we were out there for the training. He's fairly, he was, not been in too long, really been pushing hard. Came close a couple times, but he stayed consistent. He's been calling and getting coaching from Tommy, myself, Sandy, and Carolyn, and people, just reaching out to people. And what's cool is he's applied that teaching and really, really rocked it out. So good job. Congrats to Drew Berman. And I finally made a graphic for you guys because I knew you would come close. I know it's pretty much official here. Mick and Darlene hit Sapphire last month, and I wanted to make sure that I did a good job of recognizing this. And what's cool about Sapphire is you guys, most of the promotions, when you hit like executive, senior, or executive director, senior director, and inside the group, a lot of times I'll put the images inside there. I'll probably do this one as well. But I wanted to make sure that with the group setting here, that I made sure that I did it a little better, because hitting Sapphire is a really, really significant thing. I mentioned this on a call yesterday with their team, is that what's important about Sapphire to understand is it's a promotion just hard enough that you have to really push and work to get to. Okay, it just doesn't happen. Most people can't just personally recruit their way there. You have to really work to build it, do some recruiting and work with your team to get to that level. Okay, but it's not so it's just hard enough to get there, but not so hard that it's impossible. But Holton addresses this, and if you haven't seen it, you can go I think on YouTube and just Google Holton Bugs Sapphire speech or Eagle speech or something like this, and he talks about Sapphire being the most significant really rank level that you can achieve, because you really get that. They give you those wings at court, when you go to the conventions. Obviously, when we go public, whenever we can meet again in person, you'll be able to walk across stage. It's such an incredible thing. When Holton did the very first Sapphire speech I saw in Las Vegas, it was about a 30 to 40 minute speech. I think I cried 4 times during that speech to look at the faces of people walk across. And really, really proud of all you guys that have hit doing the work that you're doing and making progress. And I know there's a lot more of you that are probably going to pop this month and plugging on. So keep up the great work. Okay, so I'm going to kind of switch over here. I don't want to turn this into a training. I'm going to communicate with you, but I'm just going to throw some stuff out there for you. This one is kind of like how to grow your Vibe driver, rider, and customer base. There's a lot of people gathering a lot of customers. Okay, I know that I just made a graphic for Darlene. I'm sorry, Gosling. Crap, I can't remember her first name. Anyhow, Diane Gosling, I think it is. If I remember, I forget. There's a bunch of you. Darlene, thank you, Darlene Gosling. My apologies. She just hit 5,300 drivers and customers. Okay. And most of which, a lot of these people, what they're doing is they're attracting Vibe drivers through Facebook ads. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the disclaimer of this, but I need you. Oh, actually, I wanted to go into talking about this before. I'm glad I have images and stuff sometimes in these PowerPoints to trigger my memory to remember things I wanted to talk about. This was the one that I knew I had to put in here as a memory. Here's the small picture of what we've got going on. Delivering people from point A to point B. Here's the bigger picture that I think will be shortly announced, is eventually the ride share is not going to just be a people delivery. It's going to be services, food, things like that. What I don't think everybody understands the significance of that actually could be bigger than everything else. Because if you look at what's going on right now, especially with the environment we are all a part of, with kind of, still, being not quote unquote locked down, but, basically a lot of people are staying home more often than they've ever been at home. You see Amazon delivers every day. Like UPS delivers every day, Facebook delivers every day, and people still need to get physical products from point A to point B, as well as food delivery, food services. My son, while he was my oldest son, who's just turned 20, he works as a valet person. He parks cars. He loves it because he makes huge money, and he gets to drive Lamborghinis, Bentleys. It's pretty funny because he'll videotape inside these Rolls Royces and Bentleys. 2 weekends ago, he estimated he drove, I think it was $3 or $4 million worth of vehicles in one evening. Like, he showed me this one Rolls Royce was so decked out. It was, I think, some rapper that had it, and the inside of it had like a starlight roof to it. Like, it was like he videoed. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyhow, I have a point to this. I'm sorry. While they shut down being able to do valet, he ended up doing the DoorDash, where you put your phone and you find places to go deliver food. And all it is just finding a way to get food and take it to people, and they made money. And he was making phenomenal money doing that. I believe that from the hints that I've heard, that these are the types of things that are going to roll out with our Vibe driver thing. This will, in my opinion, allow us to expand much, much faster in all of these markets. Okay. So just because because sometimes, you see some of us are getting lots of Vibe drivers and whatever, but maybe the check isn't coming in yet. Okay. This is something you have to be forward thinking on. You're building a customer base right now. Okay. So let's talk about this customer base. This is just a slide. You can do a screenshot, or if you wanted this, I'm not going to go through into detail, but basically, this was math that the company showed at the Houston launch. That's where I got these numbers. I didn't make these up. I got these numbers that Holton spoke of. I took a screenshot of it and I made this slide. Okay. So that's kind of in essence what I'm looking at here. If the average fare was $15, five rides per day, 5 days a week, our override is 3% of that. You can see if you had 10, 20, 50, 100, 500 drivers, what your monthly would be. And potentially, again, disclaimer at the bottom, obviously hypothetical examples, with you add that into riders, and you add this into not just fares, but food delivery, could be pretty massive, right? It could be pretty significant. Okay. Now, one of the ways, how are people getting so many customers and riders? I'm actually going to skip through this because I got this slide in here twice. Is basically, if you talk to more people, you got more chance to sign people up. If you just had a consistent lead ability to generate leads, whether it's personal, friends and family, or you ran some ads. Okay. Most of us have figured out ways to run ads to where we can get them for anywhere from maybe 50 to 75 cents to $3. It just depends on markets and stuff like that. This is an example of a couple of the ads that I run on Facebook. I have at any time, usually 5 to 10 of them going for myself, that I just hit different markets and test different things out. And again, I'll get and Mark, I'll get leads for anywhere from 50. I usually average in the $2 range. But if you go back and do the math, a lot of times this is a business. If this is nothing you have to do by any stretch, but if you wanted to, okay. I put together a mini course on this. You're welcome to jump on board with this if you want. If you go to healy.click/vibe leads, you can see that course that I have on there. It's on the same platform that I do the big courses, okay? But this is just a specific Facebook leads course that's on there, okay? This is from my back office of one of my accounts, and you can see right there, getting daily leads in. I mean, this was from, I think I set the date to get these was like from March, okay? So from March on here, 1,630 leads. It's adds up. You get these, you can get these leads for yourself. You can help, get your team to get them, anything like that. Again, it's completely optional. I also know too, if you want really good hands-on lead generation training, hit Sasha Swift up. She has a course as well that's fantastic, and so on. And what's cool is once you learn some of these skills, you get better and better at them. Because, like I said, not only are we going to be able to generate we're getting customers for the regular travel customers, but the Vibe customers, the Vibe drivers, and the new services coming out. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So let me stay right here for a second. Holton himself said this. I don't remember. I don't think it was the flight school. I think it was the Monday announcement or whatever day that was, or Tuesday. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's the one that came out and said they're going to release something new for us service-wise in August. So right now is the best time to build up your customer base. Right now is the best time to build up your customer base. It's going to be rewarded handsomely. I am telling you with everything in me, it's going to be rewarded handsomely. The other thing he said out of his mouth, so this is not me speculating, is he can see down the road of them opening up and releasing 1 to 2 services per quarter. He said it, okay? New different ways to do this. I personally think they're going to do that on a regular basis because they have had companies approaching them this entire time, because we have nearly 1 million customers on the books. When he in marketing and in business, he who controls the data controls the world, right? And if you can build a customer base with nearly already 1 million customers that are open to services, companies want to come to you. They come to us similar to I guess you could almost picture it like Shark Tank, if you're familiar with that show, where they go in and they make bids on buying up their businesses. People are pitching Holton and the crew on services that they can have. Okay, so that's really, really good. So customer acquisition at any cost is the name of the game. Customer acquisition at any cost is the name of the game. Now, here's the thing. We will have people, I believe, making 6-figure incomes. This is me hypothetically not guaranteeing this, but I think you're going to see 6-figure incomes on people's own customer acquisition by themselves without organizations. However, the power of networking has always been about leverage. The ability to grow an organization is just like distribution outlets in a nutshell. Okay. The reason Coca-Cola is a multi-billion-dollar company is they don't necessarily have a Coke store, is they have outlets everywhere. They have them at ballparks. They have them at stadiums. They have they have Coke machines on all kinds of blocks everywhere. Okay. That's kind of the cool thing. So you want to make sure that you have a realistic perspective on what you're picturing this as from a business perspective. So let's talk just briefly on ways to get people to look at this, how to recruit. I'm not going into a detailed training on this. I put plenty of them out. There's lots of how to recruit trainings I have on my YouTube channel, mostly in the Facebook group. But here's what I do know, that if you stay consistent and you make contacts every single day, every single week, over a period of time, if you just work the numbers do work. It will produce checks. It will produce a business, and you will have people that also buy into the idea of this and go out there and build their businesses. Okay, that's what's really, really important about this. Now, a lot of people talk about funnels. A funnel is just merely a series of steps put together in a strategic order, where basically the goal is to take your customer on a journey. Okay, you're walking somebody down a path. I'm going to show you 3 steps that I created. Most of you are aware of this. Okay, all of these that work, and I usually do all of them, and I use different platforms for each one. The first one is the recorded sizzle call that I made. A lot of people still use this. You're welcome to use it. It's free. It's generic. Okay. The number itself is right there. This is a recorded message that I did, that I edited, that came off very well. And the cool part is I've used this for years. I use this method, what I'm showing you right now, these steps, I used to become the number 2 earner in another company back 8 years ago. And the company was 4 years old, and I showed up, and within a year, I was the number 2 money earner, because I used this exact formula. The company really hadn't put anything together yet, but I got my people to get people to listen to a sizzle call, just to pique interest, Everything that I typically show you is your goal should be to promote these things. Your goal should not necessarily to be closing people or explaining people, especially people that you have a relationship with. You'll let the tools kind of do the initial heavy lifting for you. Sizzle call. Now, here's the thing. This is the recorded number. This sizzle call is on YouTube. You can go there. If you would rather send somebody the YouTube link, you can go and just type in Mike Healy sizzle call, and you'll see it right there. It's in the 5-star group. So the 5-star group is the ATM strategy we do. You can just go in there and tag somebody in it. Obviously, that's what most people do to get people in that group, because we have a lot of stuff on here. And here was just an example of what the text looked like. Obviously, the other thing, do not underestimate the power of I decide. I typically do let people know that if they're going to watch the I decide, it's going to take them between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on how much they think about the questions, just to give them something. The reason I like to give somebody the sizzle call previous to this is the sizzle call's objective is to get their interest to peaked enough that they want more details and go on here. If you don't want to do sizzle call, you can do this. I'm just showing you the I decide was what comes from corporate. It's in your back office, and you can get it right there. Okay. Now, one other thing, 2 other things actually. Same thing inside the 5-star group. I just put that new presentation that I did. It's 20 minutes long. It goes into detail. I do take a little more emphasis to show the vibe, to show some images from the corporate events. I show the income calculator on there, which gets people's attention very, very quickly. The purpose, the way I structured this, is I grab them right out of the gates of here's the potential, here's the potential, here's the potential, here's the 2 markets, pay attention. And it usually works. I usually see a very good full view through. Okay. Now, the other thing that I just created, most of you don't know about this yet, but a lot of people just like to go straight to the chase. I'm one of those guys that just, show me the presentation and I'll make my decision kind of guy. Is I have a website. It's generic. It's actually the same URL I used 8 years ago, and it's called promoterswanted.com. Promoterswanted.com is this video on a standalone page. It's not hosted on YouTube, so there is not other videos that pop up. There's no distractions on this page. That's what's nice. I do actually have my own video hosting service as well. Okay. I usually use YouTube and different things because it's easy and people can find my stuff. But if you want a standalone, totally generic, I only say, hey, ready to get started. Hi, my name's Mike. That's it. They don't hear Healy, nothing like that. Promoterswanted.com, and it looks fantastic on a mobile phone. This is the perfect thing to text somebody on a mobile device is, hey, we are looking to pay. If you made contact with somebody, you had a conversation with them, you were sitting with them, it's an easy URL to remember as well. There's no steps to it, that kind of thing. You could send somebody the sizzle call and say, hey, check this out, listen to the sizzle call. And if that piqued your interest, watch the longer video on here. You tie those two things together, you work the numbers, and the numbers will work. Okay. Last thing on here is, hey, check that out. Can you guys see that I got this video to move on? I made a GIF on the image on my PowerPoint. Anyhow, I thought it was kind of cool. Hopefully it's showing up for you guys. I'm such a dork. But what, here's the other thing is the website recordbreakinggrowth.com is the last step of somebody that has to have all the answers. If you've exhausted conversation with somebody, this is what I dump on them. This is where I send people to get full details, because you just don't know what somebody's, all the questions are and stuff like that. It allows me to do it. But if you go through this Record Breaking Growth, obviously this is the laptop version and this is the web version, but there's lots of videos on. There's probably about 10 or 12 videos on there. Holton Bugs is on there multiple times, explaining the PRIB, explaining the monthly, explaining the potential, his keynote speech. The other thing too about this page, in case you didn't know you can do this, is if you pull it up on your laptop, you can always mouse over a YouTube video and right click on it and copy the URL. That way you can specifically do it. So it's another way that if somebody wanted to say, well, who's Holton Bugs? How's he do? What's he do? What's his, who's the owner of this thing? You could go to Record Breaking Growth real quick, scroll down, go on to the video, mouse over it, right click, copy the URL and send them that. And that's all they watch. So that's kind of a cool thing that I think we have on here. So, all right. So let me stop sharing real quick. We're going to go full screen on here. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys is right now you're seeing some growth in the company that is very, very consistent. I also am going to, I couldn't get the slide together for this quick enough, but the Hirsches, Peter and Karen Hirsch, have started doing regular live presentations almost every single evening. I'll make sure that I post the details of that inside Boom Time. That way, if you want to plug people into them, they're on Zooms. One of the nice things about popping on the Zooms, again, is people see other people jumping on. You get that social proof aspect and so on. But right now, we've got so much amazing stuff out there to get in front of people. And I hope I didn't complicate this. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with a lot of information, but it's just some basic information that you can use to get in front of people as quick as possible. And again, it's just important that you plug your people into people so they can have a conversation with us and make this thing happen. So let me see. So, hey, Mick and Darlene, I want you guys real quick to unmute, if you don't mind, and say hi. I know I have you guys on here quite often, but there's a reason. Is you guys, I said this on your call last night. What I've been so impressed with was the fact that reason they've hit Sapphire was they put in the work. Okay, clue. And they basically went out there and worked it to the point that they were consistent and so on. If you don't mind, just give me your kind of what the formula has been for you guys that's worked for you. Because again, I think there's different strokes for different folks. Some people gravitate towards the way some people do it. And I think it's cool to hear how these guys are doing it. So if you don't mind, a couple minutes, share with what you guys have been doing what'd you do to get to Sapphire? Fire it up. Let's go.
Go for it.
Well, we do our own presentations, and we do it mostly because majority of our team is on the other side of the world. And so we accommodate them. So we do presentations at like 3:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. Eastern time. And that meets them in their late afternoon or their evening, which works better for them. And so that's what we've been doing. We've also been doing some coaching. We did last month, we opened it up for anyone on our team that wanted to do weekly coaching calls with us. This month, we changed it up and we're doing accountability type of coaching. So this one is not weekly, it's daily. because we know that we needed to turn up the heat. And so we've got people on our team that have opted in to the accountability daily with us. And then, so the coaching last month was me, the accountability this month is Mick. And so, we really do complement each other and what we offer our team. And yeah, we just stay plugged in with the company, with you, Mike, with Tommy, and we just, continue to keep ourselves inspired so that we can inspire our team as well. And yeah, that's what we've been doing.
And we map everything out as well.
Yes, that's right.
We use the flight calendar for sure. And we just map everything out that obviously, I mean, this is the basic training, and we've got a wall here with 2 weeks on, and we've got all the presentations marked on there, and we've got everyone mapped, all our sort of top TSAs. We've got them mapped with who's their downline and everything. And what we did the other day as well, we actually sent a map of the top, I think it was the top 5 TSA that we have, with how to get to Sapphire, what they needed to do, so where their actual reps are now, and what they need to sort of get to Sapphire, or director, executive director, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever their goal was, we mapped it out for them.
Yeah, to make it easy for them. So, and then the new people that come in, especially now with this Go Getter promo, we want to get them in as soon as possible and get them launched as soon as possible to make sure they avail of the maximum compensation that we can. Because, I mean, if they miss the Go Getter, it's not that big of a deal, because, I mean, it's $200, right? So at the end of the month, they're still going to get a good chunk of change if they do what they need to do.
Right.
And you guys had, just so everybody knows, I think it was maybe a month ago, at least, right about that, I had Mick and Darlene do a quick video on how they launched their people. It's in Boom Time.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go in there if you click on either photos or videos, or you can actually go to the search button in any group, and you can type in things like, you can type in launch, and it will populate and find keywords and whatever posts have been in there. In case you didn't know that, you can always search stuff by keywords, and it'll pop it up if that was in the post itself. They did a very, very good training on that. Actually, it's in units. I did put it in units.
Yeah, it is. We saw it in there.
That's right, I did. I put it in units because I think I showed, hey, here's the comp plan that I did. Then I showed like lead generation was Laura Cubis, and then you guys were getting started launching. That was it. Yeah, so I think it's in units too.
It's in both. Actually, it's in both, Mike.
Both of them. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it'll be easy to find. Go in there. It'll kind of give you the way they do it, and how it's been. It's obviously it's working. That's what.
Yeah, and we're big on scripts too, Mike. I mean, scripts are huge, and sometimes we'll get our TSAs to, if they've had a situation and it hasn't gone right, we'll get them to sort of screenshot what they sent, and then sometimes. So what we'll do at that point, we'll just go over what they've sent and then change it around a little bit. A lot of the time, I find when we come in fresh and we're new, we're really eager to sort of get people into the business, and sometimes we're too eager, and we just think everyone's going to look at the business like we do, and we tend to be
say too much. Sometimes.
We say way too much, and what's the word I'm looking for? We're desperate. Like sometimes I look at the scripts and it's like desperation. Please come to my presentation. Right. Please. Like, now you need posture. So it's a lot of coaching back and forth, and I'm good with scripts too. So if someone has a situation, they'll send a message to me relaying what the situation is, and I'll send a script around that situation, and then they'll just copy and paste it. So we do a lot of things to sort of make it easier for, especially in the beginning, for the team.
That's awesome.
It works.
That's perfect. Yeah. And what's cool is if you guys, if you don't mind, anytime maybe you come up with something that's helped to get people over the hump, feel free to make a video on it. Just explain it, grab your phone. Obviously it doesn't have to be professional. I hope people understand that it's more about what you're telling us and teaching us than anything else like that, because it's great for everybody. And you can, you know, if you get something, maybe put that together, videotape each other, and then hand the phone over and hand it back, and put it in boom time. That way we can have it on there, because people need to hear that stuff. Because
we talked about that too. We talked about that. We want to sort of be more, contribute more to the team so that everyone can win. So we're going to be doing a lot of that too.
And again, just out of respect for these guys, don't bombard them with questions if you're not in their organization. That's why I'm giving them open mic night to put stuff in the boom time. That way you can get that, because I know, you know, their next push is obviously to what we got, Ruby, then Emerald, and Diamond. You know, so give everybody, make sure you do that. Give them, you know, don't necessarily call them and say, hey, will you do 3 ways with me and things like that. Find somebody, and if they can, I can obviously help you out, that kind of thing. But yeah, feel free to put some stuff that's working for you in the group. Give us one of the best I mean, you probably already do this, but just so this is just off the top of my head, one of the best ways that I saw a guy that's made millions of dollars in networking teach people was he would tell he would give the tip or the training, and then he would tell the story that backed up what he just did. So maybe you guys say, hey, we did this, and this, and here's the story with Larry that went through it, and we did this, that kind of thing. Just so anytime you guys know that's how some of the best trainers out there train people, is they give the training, they talk about the point, the specifics, the whys, and then they back it up and emphasize it for memory of how that, with a story, I forget the name of what they call that, doing that. But yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Put load good training in there. Again, and that's kind of open to anybody else out there. So thank you guys for that. I totally appreciate it. Really fantastic. Congratulations. Super excited for you. So thanks. Sasha Swift, I'm calling on you because you got makeup on, you're smiling. I'm picking. So unmute yourself real quick. Sasha, say hi to me so I can see your face.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, there we go. So Sasha, in case you guys know, Sasha actually has been teaching a tremendous amount of people the vibe, how to generate customers through, and drivers specifically through her. She's got an ads course and things like that on that. She's very hands-on. And Sasha, how many people do you think you've helped now? Can you, I mean, if you don't mind, just roughly.
That's around like 160 students right now. And some of them have done like tremendous, like Darlene and Chelsea and Peter, and I can't even keep up with it. Like, it just makes me proud.
and you should be very proud, because I remember
no for them.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Just so you guys know, Sasha's so humble. She won't take credit for anything, so that's my job, to push credit where credit's due. But what's cool, what I wanted to point out is Sasha's basically led the charge on like being the customer gathering queen. Her and Laura Cubis was like the first person to kind of break the 4-minute mile with a lot of customers, and so on. And what they're doing is working. What they're doing is working to generate more customers. Now, here's the thing, Sasha, and I want to kind of throw this out there. Obviously, I give you permission at any time if you pick something up or you want to drop it as a video or whatever in the Boom Time group. Please do so, because you've proven yourself. I know that you know what you're doing, that kind of thing. You're welcome to do that. But you have a lot of people that have taken it a step farther. They're not just generating a vibe driver, but they're doing what with these people?
Yeah, they're finally I got them to pick up the phone. I knew, like, in my course, I'm always like, I'm pretty good at email marketing just because I've done it for so long and I have open rates that are high, but that's not the case for most people. So I kept saying, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. I need to pick up the phone more, but they just are like going crazy. Like, they're having so much success. Like, I've been flying a lot lately, but I'm about to do like a Zoom and kind of let everyone know, like, some of them are doing co-ops. They're doing like 3 or 4 Zooms a day, like immediately inviting the leads to the calls and then calling the lead right after the call, and they're signing up, and it's just like really incredible. So
And the reason is they're talking to the right person about the right thing at the right time because they answered the ad.
That's what's fun is they come to you because they want what you have. You don't have to like chase them down. So
makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they're and yeah, like Sasha said, that they're a lot of them have finally decided to, hey, pick up the phone. And I've talked to, well, I was on a Zoom about 3 weeks ago with a group of ladies that have done that. They've doing a little co-op with a few of their team that maybe they're not comfortable with running their own ads, but they learned. And so they do it. They do ad co-ops with the leads. And then they're just teaching everybody to make these short phone calls, which is similar to the stuff that I've taught with just calling somebody, asking them permission to follow up, and they're sending them to Zooms or presentations. And it's been working great. I mean, it has been working fantastic on there. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, and some of these people are in my organization, so I've gotten feedback from them. So yeah, fantastic. So Sasha, thank you so much for kind of stepping out of there, getting out of the comfort zone. I remember when we sat together, you sat with us. It was Orlando. Was it Orlando or Houston? I think it was Orlando.
Yeah. I got there on no sleep and just pushed through.
Yeah, you did. And we sat through, and I remember you were talking about leads and stuff like that.
Well, actually, that's what motivated me, because I had been kind of dabbling with Facebook ads, and I remember they asked everybody with 100 leads, or not leads, 100 customers or more could walk the stage, and I only had I had 70 or something, and I like shrunk in my seat, and I was like so bummed that I didn't get to walk the stage. And then after that, it just was on. Like, I was like, I'm figuring this out.
On like Donkey Kong, you have laid the foundation. I mean, people are just blown away. I mean, you're kind of the talk now of everybody out there doing leads and stuff. So what's cool too is Sasha has if you do her lead program, it's very, very cheap. You can actually, she does a lot of live Zooms and trainings and calls specifically and stuff like that. So if you're looking to maybe tap into that, it's really, really good. So any parting words, Sasha?
No, just can't. I wanted there to be a live vision, because last time I was on stage alone, and I was looking forward to all these people being up there, but next time.
Next time. Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of people on there.
Yeah, we're going to dominate the stage. Oh, Mike and Tommy's team.
It's going to be it for real, like customers. It's not even going to be close as far as I'm concerned. And I think that's what's nice, is that's why I promote this kind of thing, because it's a skill that you can learn. It's really not that hard. And once you learn the skill, you have it for life, and you can do all kinds of different things on here. So thank you, Sasha. I appreciate that. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to close it out because I don't want to take a ton of time. I know I'm in the middle of the afternoon, and a lot of you guys actually have stuff going on that you're doing. I do appreciate the turnout for being on here. I've got, I have, I think, close to 30 people on the Zoom. I've got another 20 on Facebook Live. I mean, to have 50 people on here in the middle of the afternoon is fantastic for me. That's a total win. So thank you guys for being on here. And it's good. So all that being said, here's what I tell you: make sure you get plugged in. Keep looking at Boom Time every once in a while in case you don't see something come through the feed. Check in there just in case to see if there's anything new that you missed or whatever. Most of you get the updates and stuff. If it's real urgent, we put those out and broadcast those. But we're good to go. So appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Anybody got anything real quick before I jump off here? Double checking. Are we all good? We all good? I'm going to, let me see if I can unmute everybody. I don't know if I tried to unmute everybody, but that button, it says mute all or mute all. That's what it is on there. I don't have anything else that says anything different.
I was able to unmute myself, Mike.
Yeah, you guys can unmute yourselves. Go ahead and unmute yourselves and say goodbye. How's that? We'll do that real quick.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Mike.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
Mike.
Bye
guys.
for mom.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, Mike.
Oh, hi, Mom. I didn't know you were on here.
Bye.
How's it? Hi, Mom. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm ready to come up and have you cook dinner for me.
Okay, come shoot some groundhogs.
I will be up to shoot more groundhogs. Yes, I'm a hillbilly. She has a groundhog infestation, and it's my job to come up here and keep it under wraps. So anyhow, all right. Well, I won't blow my. Everybody thought I was smart for 2 seconds, and now I'm a groundhog killing hillbilly. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Everybody have a good one.
All right,
All right,
bye.
guys.
Bye. Love
All
you.
right. See you guys.